I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space.
What up, what up? This is your boy Rob Clark welcoming you to the 22 November Network. Get ready for another exciting edition of the Lone Gunman Podcast featuring me. That's right, your boy Rob Clark coming at you. Stay tuned. Be right there. Hello, and welcome to the show. What's up, everybody? This is episode number 47 of the Lone Gunman Podcast. And this week, I have a very special guest for you. His name is Adam Gorightly. He is a noted author and historian. For all of Adam's works, please visit www.adamgorightly.com. There, you will see a collection of his works, links where you can buy his books, check out his stuff, and he's also a musician, so if you're into like trippy 60s stuff, definitely check it out. I dig it, most definitely dig it. Today we're going to be mainly focusing on his newest book called Caught in the Crossfire, Kerry Thornley, Lee Oswald, and the Garrison Investigation. Because this is a JFK assassination related podcast. So that is what we were going to talk about today. But you can't talk about Kerry Thornley, of course, without getting into various other aspects of his life, such as the Discordian Association that he founded, a kind of faux religion. But Adam, now, people listening to this podcast, they're familiar with the JFK assassination. And I'm sure they've heard the name Kerry Thornley associated with it in some form or fashion. But if you could just give us a little bit of a background on Kerry Thornley, I guess we'll begin back at the beginning in the Marine Corps.
Let's start a little bit before that. He was born in Whittier, California, in the late 30s, 1938, and his first claim to fame, which might not mean a lot to his right at this juncture, but it comes to play later in the Garrison investigation. In 1958, Kerry Thornley and a friend of his, Greg Hill, started a spoof religion called Discordianism, and apparently they had a vision in a bowling alley in Whittier, California, where all of this was revealed to them. So maybe we'll touch on more of that later, but so Thornley entered the Marines in late 1958, and in early 59 he was stationed at El Toro Marine Base in Southern California, where his path crossed with Lee Harvey Oswald.
Right.
Oswald at that time had just returned from Atsugi, Japan, and during a 3-month period, Thornley got to know Oswald pretty well. They weren't close friends, but he referred to him as a good acquaintance. They had a lot of conversations during this period about politics, philosophy, and such. And then around Easter of that year is when Thornley got sent over to Atsugi, Japan, where Oswald previously stationed, working as a radar technician, which is the same job Thornley performed over there.
Wow.
Now, sometime during the period he was at El Toro, and then when he was being shipped across to Atsugi, he started working on a book called The Idle Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
And the main character in this book was based upon different Marines Thornley had known, including himself and Oswald, kind of a composite character. And it was centered around the disillusionment of serving in the Marines during this period, during the Cold War period. Let's hold it there just a second, getting a lot of feedback. Anyway, on that trip to Japan, he started working on this book, The Idle Warriors, as I was saying. It was based upon different Marines he had known, including Lee Harvey Oswald, and several others. Once he got stationed over at Atsugi, during that period is when Oswald was infected. Thornley heard that. He went, oh, man, that's crazy. And at that point, he based the character, as mentioned before, Johnny Shelburne, he based him primarily on Lee Harvey Oswald. So that's the first curiosity about Kerry Thornley, that he was writing a book based on Oswald 3 years before the Kennedy assassination. After his service in the Marines, Thornley ended up in New Orleans. He was a budding writer, wanted to experience life. That's one of the reasons he enlisted in the Marines, then moved to New Orleans, because he wanted to experience the French Quarter Bohemia of the period. And at that time, and this, once again, maybe getting a little bit ahead of myself, but this relates to later the Garrison investigation, but during this period, Thornley met a couple of somewhat shadowy characters by the name of Slim Brooks and Gary Kirsten. And Thornley, throughout his life, he met all kinds of interesting people that I've heard from over the years and interviewed. And he had a thirst for knowledge and meeting people and having conversations about, the same type of stuff he was talking to Oswald about, philosophy, politics, different ideologies, religions. Anyway, he met these two somewhat spooky characters who claimed they had associations with the mob and perhaps intelligence agency associations. And at one point, according to Thornley, they got into a theoretical discussion about how to kill the president, and in particular, John F. Kennedy. Thornley later said it was just kind of a morbid intellectual exercise for him, but later those words would come back to haunt him. Insert the creepy organ music there.
Yeah, right. Purely theoretical, right?
Yeah. Well, I think they were on Thornley's part. It might have been, as he later theorized, an attempt to set him up as a secondary patsy in the assassination, had the Oswald setup gone awry, but we can get a bit more into that later. Let's see, so going chronologically, we were in New Orleans, so the assassination went down. Of course, we know that date, November 22nd, 63. Then 3 weeks after that, he moved to Arlington, Virginia. There are several reasons he said he was motivated to make this move. One of them, after JFK's assassination, in fact, the night of the following the assassination, he made some comments that were a bit off color, and most people took offense by basically laughing about the assassination. He was very critical of Kennedy during this period, and so he basically, because of doing stuff like him and a friend Carlos Castillos went to the Bourbon House restaurant and ordered drinks for everybody to toast Lee Harvey Oswald's drill instructor for teaching him to shoot a rifle.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these antics would later bring Carey to the attention of Garrison and other investigators. So because of this, he alienated himself with different friends in the French Quarter, and he had a messy breakup with his girlfriend during this period, and he was still working on Idle Warriors at this time, and he got an invite to move to Arlington, Virginia, where a friend of his lived, so he thought, hey, I'll be in closer proximity to the Warren Commission hearings that are going on. Maybe I'll have an opportunity to be called before the commission, and this would be good pre-publicity for this book he was working on, The Idle Warriors, that was based on Lee Oswald. So those were some of the reasons, most of the reasons he moved to Arlington, Virginia. He did testify before the Warren Commission there in 1964, and in early 65, he hadn't had any success publishing The Idle Warriors, but he whipped together a book called, appropriately enough, Oswald, that in fact had an excerpt from The Idle Warriors in it. And in this book, he basically portrayed Oswald as somebody who had been affected by communist ideology, and this had inspired him to kill Kennedy because of psychological reasons. Once again, it was kind of he just whipped it together, and pretty slim volume at the time, and it was published there in 65. Thornley at that time was an adherent of Ayn Rand and objectivism, so that also colored or influenced that book Oswald. So that came out in early 65 or so, shortly after he moved to Los Angeles. And so at that point, Thornley was reflecting what the popular mythology was, or what the press was saying, what came out of the Warren Commission, that Oswald indeed was the lone assassin. At first, when Thornley had heard Oswald was involved, he couldn't believe Oswald could have done it by himself, and as he said, he became more convinced of this with popular news slant of the period. Then in 65, he landed in L.A., where he met David Lifton, who I'm sure you know, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Lifton, of course, he was a Warren Commission report critic, and was quite critical of Thornley's book, and met with Thornley, kind of called him on a lot of stuff. In fact, he went over to Thornley's apartment in L.A., and he brought all 26 volumes of the Warren Commission report. I detail all this in my book. Threw him out on the floor and went point by point through all the reasons to demonstrate that Oswald couldn't have done it by himself, was set up in the assassination. At that point, Thornley had a 180-degree turn in his thinking, and agreed with Lifton that indeed there must have been a conspiracy behind the assassination that Oswald set up. And in fact, at that point, Thornley became a Warren Commission report critic, and actually did some radio interviews during this period to that effect. So that was 65. We skipped forward a couple of years to 67, the Summer of Love. Thornley was still in L.A., the early part of that period, getting into psychedelics and sexual revolution and all that cool stuff. And that's when the Garrison investigation was launched. And at that point, at some point, really in early 68, Garrison put out a press release claiming Thornley was part of a cabal that basically set up Oswald before the fact, that Thornley was a CIA agent, and other things. Some of it stated in the press release that he was one of, Garrison believed Thornley was one of the notorious Oswald doubles and all of this stuff.
Right.
So that was 67, that went on. Garrison investigation, subsequent grand jury testimonies, and the trial of Clay Shaw that kept dragging on through 71. Where eventually Shaw was acquitted. At that point, there was no really charges against Thornley at that point, but there was threat of a trial. Well, anyway, all of that was dropped, and that kind of ended the Garrison investigation. And so that was, then we fast forward a couple more years. Do we want to, you have any questions at this point?
Well, yeah, a few. If we can back up a little bit to, Atsugi, if you could expound a little bit, because I found it pretty fascinating in your book, something I didn't know, that there was somebody else at Atsugi at the same time that Thornley and Oswald was, correct?
Yeah, during that period, according to one of V. Howard Hunt's biographies, and there's like 3 of them, I can't state the specific one right off the top of my head, but he stated that he was Atsugi during this period where both Thornley and Oswald went there at the same time. Thornley was there in 59, and Oswald was there prior to that, I guess. I don't have the exact dates, but 57, 58, that period. So that's right. The period that E. Howard Hunt was there, according to one of his biographies. Atsugi is one of the key military CIA installations during that period overseas, and it's where a lot of, according to an article in Rolling Stone in the early 80s, where a lot of the MK Ultra experimentation went on with troops, and in fact, as I mentioned in the book, that's where the largest storehouse of LSD was at that period, that the CIA had bought up from Sandoz Laboratories, was stored at Atsugi, and also at Manila in the Philippines, where Thornley was also stationed. So both Thornley and Oswald were knee-deep into all of this nest of activities going on there at Atsugi. Whether they were victims of the testing, it's not sure. There's, these stories about Oswald had some kind of LSD flashback when he was overseas. There's also the story that in New Orleans he had approached one of the assistant district attorneys about the legality of a drug, LSD. Yeah. Now, that was recounted, I believe, in a few places. Jim Mars's Crossfire. Recently, I came across the statement from a guy named Edward Gillen, an assistant district attorney. And when he met with Oswald, he said that Oswald did, the notes say that Oswald asked about a drug, whether it was legal. In Gillen's statement, it says nothing about LSD, but it can be assumed in 1963 that he might have been talking about LSD.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, Oswald and Thornley were both there during the same period as E. Howard Hunt, and of course this is where they based the U-2 spy planes missions out of, and Thornley and Oswald both worked there in some capacity as associated with the radar technicians, which itself, you needed a certain level of security clearance. So that's what was going on at Atsugi.
Right, and it
Thornley and E. Howard Hunt.
It could possibly, I think you alluded to it, explain some of his odd behavior over there, like when he was on guard duty, and he kind of freaked out a little bit, and then they had the incident where he shot himself in the arm, which, who knows the real backstory of that, but,
sure.
LSD is a hell of a drug, man.
Yeah, that's what some people point to as a flashback thing.
Or a bad trip. One of the two.
Yeah, shooting at something in a tree that wasn't there, shot himself. I don't remember all the specific details, but he had some type of weird psychological thing went down. And once again, yeah, this is the period where they were dosing the troops with LSD. You see some of those old films where they try to march in formation and they all start going in different directions and laughing their heads off. And so, yeah, that was the period where the CIA was testing all those different drugs to see if they could be effective in the spy trade. And one of them was LSD.
Oswald must have been passed with flying colors, because, I mean, you know, assuming that it was some sort of test, you know, whether or not he could be trusted or broken or something like that, you know, it wasn't too long after that, you know, that he was, I believe, sent to Russia, you know, as part of the false defection program.
Sure, yeah, I agree with that too. That makes sense. And the idea of slipping, you know, somebody a psychedelic Mickey, especially your own agents, is to see how they react under that, you know, drug under questioning, those type of things. And so that's a way of letting them know what the effects of LSD are if somebody else slipped it on them and how to react
Right.
in case that happens. Of course, anybody who's dabbled with psychedelic knows that trying to one trip on LSD can be way different from another. That's why I don't think was ever used that much. You know, there's also the legends of creating Manchurian candidates, and LSD is a good deconditioning tool, but it's not something that you can know that how the effects are going to work on from one person
Right, it's not going to
to
have
the next.
It's not going to have consistent effects.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, it's not going to have consistent effects, even between other people, and just even not on the same person, probably. Because, like you said, I mean, I may or may not have dabbled myself back in the day, and yeah, that's you never have two that are the same, you know.
Yeah, no, I can neither confirm nor deny that I've had several hundred acid trips either.
All right, so where were we here?
So yeah, you were talking about what's the program you called where Oswald was working under when he got shipped off to Soviet Union back in the day?
It was officially called Operation Redskin, but it was a false defector program, you know, for the CIA, which, you know, I don't think he was doing anything extremely crazy over there, you know. I think his mission, or if that's what you want to call it, was to basically see if he could get into the country, see if he could stay in the country for a prolonged, extended period of time, and keep his eyes and ears open, you know, maybe write a couple things down, take a couple pictures, you know, and then get the hell out of there, bring back some kind of intel about maybe Russian life behind the Iron Curtain that we didn't really know about too much back then. You know, maybe it was meant to confuse the Russians, because, you know, a lot of those guys were about the same age, kind of looked the same, kind of had the same backgrounds. You know, it's hard to tell when you get into spycraft of the 50s and 60s. You know, it's James Bond shit. You know what I mean? Back then.
Yeah. And so, yeah, my theory. I mean, it's not my theory. A lot of people have gone down this path that Oswald started his training at Atsugi or before that. Who knows? And you know, he was learning Russian and all this. Then he supposedly gets in trouble there at Atsugi and is shipped back to El Toro. He kind of had this cloud over his head as a screw-up. He got in trouble with the brass, you know. At least that's what he was, the character he was presenting.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of people raised curious eyebrows because Thornley said he talked to or discussed Marxism, ideology, and these type of things. But as he noted, Thornley noted in his Warren Commission testimony, Oswald had come up to him and asked Thornley, what do you think of Marxism or communism? So I think what Oswald may have been involved with during that period was doing some internal spying, checking up on the other guy who's in his unit there who were being trained to be radar technicians to see if they were a potential security risk. And I'm sure Gary Thornley raised a lot of red flags with Brass, because this is one colorful, crazy character, who liked to discuss everything under the sun, including communism and Marxism, and willing to entertain a lot of different theories and ideas. And he was a devout atheist, too, so that wasn't a real popular statement to make back there, during the Eisenhower era.
Right. Yeah, I could definitely see the way Oswald was acting back then. He would have definitely been a nut magnet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would have generated interest in, even his fellow Marines, but especially somebody like Kerry Thornley, who was way off the beaten path, even earlier than most back then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So let's get back in a little bit here and talk a little bit more about Slim Brooks and this fellow Gary Kirstein.
Okay, so we went through the Garrison investigation period, and that kind of ended in 1970 or so, but the next couple of years, Thornley, one key incident he points to, he was in New York with a friend of his, Greg Hill, the same guy who came up with that spoof religion, Discordianism. This was 1973 or so when he came, he was at this outdoor concert somewhere, and came across a copy of the Yipster Times, newsletter the Yippies put out, and in that was one of the early versions of Coup d'etat in America by Weberman and Canfield, an article.
Oh, yeah.
Was later expanded into the book, and it showed those photos of the three tramps and compared them to, the old man tramp, E. Howard Hunt, which you're probably well aware of that anyway, but Thornley saw that picture of Hunt. That was the first time he'd seen a photo of E. Howard Hunt. The first time he saw photos of Hunt was, as the Watergate hearings were starting. Thornley saw that photo. Man, that looks a hell of a lot like the Kirsten guy, a.k.a. brother-in-law, I was talking to back in New Orleans a decade earlier. And at that point, Thornley kind of released all these memories that had been stored up all these years, repressed memories, perhaps, that started informing him, making him realize that he might have been part of a JFK assassination conspiracy, and that he was used, perhaps, in the same manner that Oswald was used, by having, first these discussions with Kirsten and Brooks. Brooks, he later suspected, was Jerry Milton Brooks, who was also involved with the Garrison investigation. Brooks provided different information. Apparently Brooks, Jerry Milton Brooks, he was a former Minuteman, he was working with Bannister. He's one of Bannister's investigator, according to Brooks. And actually Brooks is, I just realized this recently, I didn't write it in the Crossfire book, but I just came across this recently, that Brooks was really the first one to provide the information about the Newman building, the Camp Street address,
Right.
where Bannister was based out of, and Brooks passed that information on to William Turner, the FBI guy, who was also part of the investigation. So, and other people have stated as well that it makes sense that the guy Thornley was meeting with, Slim Brooks, certainly appeared to, how Thornley described him, was very similar to Jerry Milton Brooks, and a lot of Brooks's Slim Brooks' past history seemed to match up with Jerry Milton Brooks, and they were both in New Orleans during that same period, so it's probably one and the same. Brooks also had a brother too, so it gets totally not confirmed, but it seems to make sense that was the guy Thornley was meeting with. And a lot of people later said Thornley just confabulated all this stuff or made it up, but I've talked to other people who were there during that period, and they had memories of Slim Brooks as well, so it wasn't somebody Thornley made up. And so later, Thornley's these memories started emerging with that period, and Thornley began to suspect that, maybe Garrison was on to something. Originally, Carey thought that Garrison was just barking up a tree with all his accusations, but then he started having these memories of meetings he had had, which were more like brief kind of chance encounters, brief meetings with the likes of Clay Shaw, David Ferry, Guy Bannister, and this picture started emerging that maybe there was a design behind all of this, and once again, that led him to his speculation, theories, suspicions that he was being manipulated during that period in the same manner that Oswald presumably was being manipulated.
Right. Now, you also pointed something out in the book that that I didn't know. Harold, I guess during the Garrison investigation, they were trying to paint Thornley as an Oswald double. And Harold Weisberg, who's, a pretty much respected Warren Commission critic and researcher, kind of was doing something a little bit underhanded there when it comes to trying to tie Thornley in with the, being an Oswald double. Can you tell us a little bit about his letter to Fred Newcomb?
Why do you say underhanded?
Well, if it's not true.
Let me throw this back on you, Rob.
Okay.
You've seen the information. What's your thoughts about it?
Well, it just seemed to me that it looks to me like almost a desperate act on Weisberg's part to generate something, because that picture that they were using, they were flipping it, and he had asked Fred Newcomb to, doctor the photo to make it look a little bit more like Oswald, and to me that's just really disingenuous, when it comes to.
And it calls into question, you'll see if you go through the Garrison investigation materials, and a lot of that stuff is online now. National Archives search engines and Weisberg's archives and Mary Farrell and all that stuff I'm sure you're familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
And so, there's a lot of those memos from Garrison's different investigators where they're going out and showing photos from around. And a lot of times there's, some of it looks like they witnesses a couple here and there. Well, maybe it could have been that photo of Thornley, the guy. Nothing's ever clear, but what photo were they showing? I suspect they were using that touched up photo. And I did a search recently, one of those archives engines I was talking about, web engines, and it came up with a bunch of the suspect photos that Garrison was using in his case, and one of those was indeed that touched up photo by that Fred Newcomb came up with. And Newcomb, he was actually quite embarrassed and pissed off by Weisberg, and I shared some of those letters recently on my Story of Discordia website. Newcomb wasn't aware that they were going to be used as part of the investigation, and that kind of put created a rift between he and Harold Weisberg. But let's back up a little bit. I think, Weisberg, from what I can tell, is really the one who came up with the case against Kerry Thornley that he later passed on to Jim Garrison, and Jim Garrison made it his own. But Jim Garrison, I believe, came up with a lot of the stuff that he takes credit for it in his book On the Trail of the Assassins. It was really Weisberg who first came up with the theory that Oswald's book, not Thornley's book, Oswald, was there to set up Oswald as well as his JFK assassination or his Warren Commission testimony. These were all part of a sinister plot to set up Oswald before the fact. So Weisberg was the first one to kind of latch on to that. Then they started looking at the movements of Thornley, and they could place him maybe around the time where that photo was taken with Oswald, that some people would say it was fake. And also, he went through Mexico City kind of during the same period that Oswald or somebody claiming to be Oswald showed up at the Russian Cuban embassies. So, they started playing around with the theory that maybe Thornley was one of the Oswald doubles, and that kind of led to Weisberg hatching that caper of touched-up photo thing under the auspices of the Garrison investigation. When he got called on it, Weisberg said, no, Garrison had part in any of this, although Weisberg was using Garrison's stationery.
Yeah.
So, once again, a lot of sketchy activities, and it calls into question really any Garrison's evidence against Thornley. There's a lot of it out there on the web and different articles and books by different people, and I could go through all of their points and accusations and addresses. I don't want to do it here because there's a lot of those, but there's an argument on either side of this. One thing I never have claimed to have complete certitude whether Thornley was of Thornley's guilt or innocence, or whether he was a witting participant or unwitting pawn in the assassination. But I have my suspicions. Basically what I was doing with that book was providing some equal time for Kerry Thornley's side of the story and trying to look at the thing, Garrison case from a different perspective. So, because there's so many books out there that basically repeat, the gospel according to Garrison's fact.
Oh, yeah.
Where, a lot of times it's just theories that, from what I've seen, at least relating to Thornley, haven't been backed up by any real evidence.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. But what's good about your book is you have a lot of it straight from the horse's mouth from Kerry's writings, throughout the years, spanning almost his entire life, really.
Yeah. One thing that needs to be noted, in Garrison, he wrote On the Trail of the Assassins, he brought out all these things about how Kerry met with Clay Shaw and David Ferry and Guy Bannister, but you need to remember that Kerry remembered all of this stuff, started remembering these meetings in 73, 74. And during this period, as we get into 75, 76, he really went into a downward spiral with psychological problems and was diagnosed even by a close friend of his, a psychologist, Dr. Robert Newport, as a paranoid schizophrenic. And so I think, some of these things, maybe he did meet with those guys as he recalled, but it could also be attributed to confabulation, And so some people will point to, well, Thornley, he lied to Garrison about that he hadn't met with Ferry or Shaw or Bannister and these guys, but, they'll point to dishonesty on Kerry's part, but it could be a number of things. I don't think he was being dishonest. I think he either confabulated it or he had repressed memory. Maybe his mind was tampered with, all MK Ultra, which is definitely possible. So to immediately brand Thornley a liar is an easy way out. You need to dig a little bit deeper and into this thing. I mean, so a lot of there wasn't really many witnesses against Thornley, and the ones that were, you could so point at them as having psychological problems.
Yeah, that's true too.
So it's a maze, and I think I'm not sure. I don't, as far as solving the JFK assassination or anything like that. That wasn't my mission in writing this book. It was more like from the sociological, cultural thing of looking at that Garrison investigation period and how Thornley got entangled with it all the craziness going on with it.
Oh, most definitely. Garrison was, he was digging really hard down there, and part of his theory incorporated that, it might have been some kind of homosexual thrill kill, just from all these guys that are involved in it. They're all homosexuals. There's allegations of Oswald being homosexual, and on down the line, and, it's hard to say, but,
well, there's allegations of Thornley being homosexual too and being tied in with all that bunch, but then, this is once again stuff that's quoted as gospel because it came from one of the Garrison's witness, the Reverend Raymond Brocheres.
Oh yeah.
But it appears that he was making all that stuff up, that he was never in New Orleans at all, that he didn't know Ferry. People say that, and Ferry's roommate said this and that, but none of Ferry's roommates during that period knew who Brocheres was. He showed up on the scene in 68, and he's one of those guys like other witnesses. They'd ask him about Kerry Thornley or David Ferry, or down the line he said, oh yeah, I knew him. And, no doubt he was getting his information like a lot of people were from the newspapers or whatever, and just concocting or confabulating. Maybe he believed half the things I said, but I can't put any faith and belief in anything that Raymond Brocheres said. So, a lot of this stuff you just got to toss out. But then, allegations like that, when they get entered to the mix, they just muddy the waters of Garrison's investigation. Certainly in terms of Kerry Thornley, same thing with that touched up photo thing. It just basically, in a way, discredits everything they did in their investigation, at least as far as Kerry Thornley goes.
Exactly.
And, Thornley, deservedly so, he put himself in a corner with some of the comments he made,
Oh, yeah.
over the years. This comment where he said he would have shot JFK if he would have had the chance. And that was actually...
That'll do it.
He later repeated that on the Current Affair, but he was basically quoting himself as what he was, 23 or 24-year-old crazy kid who, during a conversation at the Bourbon House, he said, he was trying to get people riled up. He was a critic of Kennedy and started making all these comments after the Kennedy assassination. I recently came across, I found these on the web as well. I didn't include this material in the book. You can find his actual FBI interview that happened, it started the evening of the assassination. A couple of days afterwards, both the FBI and the Secret Service interviewed Thornley, and they interviewed another guy named Shambrowski. And Shambrowski's the one who said that Kerry told him at the Bourbon House if he would have had a rifle, he would have shot Kennedy. So that's how all of that kind of started. But, at the time, the FBI, the Secret Service, they didn't have any, they interviewed Thornley, and he was never a suspect in the case.
Right. They were pretty thorough back then. And he did have those slender hips, Adam. Those slender hips.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, some people say that, the FBI, Secret Service, they're all involved in the assassination, and Thornley was part of it, so of course he wasn't a suspect in the case, but you can't really argue with that kind of logic.
Exactly.
Once again, maybe there is something to it all, but I suspect not.
Exactly. Well, I think we're just about out of time here on this segment, Adam. Adam's going to stick around and join me for another one. We're going to try to nail some things down a little more specifically and according to time frames within New Orleans before the assassination. So everybody come back next week, and we'll have part 2 for you. And Adam, thanks for joining me. Hang on the line for me, buddy. And we are out. And once again, everyone, head over to www.adamgorightly.com. His last name is spelled Gorightly. AdamGorightly.com. To check out what he's doing, check out all of his writings, and check out all of his books, his music. Go give him some support and some love from the Lone Gunman Podcast for coming on. And once again, thank you to Adam. Make sure you guys come back next week. We're going to have part 2 of Adam Gorightly. And thank you for joining me this week. Head over to 22novembernetwork.wordpress.com for all of your assassination, observation, and conversation. Doug's on a little hiatus now, so there will be no more Dallas action for a while until he gets his head together. But I'll still be here. The website will still be here. All the bloggers will still be here. So please head over there. Show us some love, people. This sumbitch is in a can up to the satellite beam down directly to your ears, people. Peace.